Tristan Hoffman, Rhea, Micah Carter, and Isaiah Robeson. Thank you so very much for all of your continued support. It means so much to me. Now, let's talk about Elimination Chamber in Toronto. I might be a little bit all over the place on this one. Actually, you know what? We're talking wrestling. So it only seems appropriate. I've got to put on the lucha mask. To talk some wrestling. So, obviously, the major thing here, the John Cena heel turn. 22 years in the making. Never went heel before. Almost did once upon a time. And I actually wonder if they're gonna bust out that unused heel theme song at some point during this run, if that'll be his new theme. Also, Bray Wyatt predicted this in his Firefly Funhouse match when he had NWO Cena once upon a time. Or imagine if Cena starts going out to Voodoo Child. That would be very funny if he comes out to Voodoo Child like Hollywood Hogan did. Now, in the lead up to this, at first, on that SmackDown, I did not like the whole corporate champion sell your soul angle. And it still feels like, to me, that this was sort of cobbled together at the 11th hour because they saw all the complaints online and elsewhere about the build to WrestleMania not being that good. And I have to admit, before this Elimination Chamber, I was having my doubts. I even had this whole video planned talking about I've been watching other wrestling promotions and things like that because I was dissatisfied with WWE over the last couple of weeks, months. And like I said, this feels like something, a last minute change, especially from a lot of the different rumor mill stuff that's been coming out. I don't think this was the original plan at all. But as soon as The Rock came out and was talking about Cody selling his soul, now this is a pet peeve of mine ever since I got into wrestling last year. And I've kind of been engaging more with, I believe they call it the IWC, the Internet Wrestling Community. I find so many people just want everyone to turn heel, or they only find heels interesting. It's like very like edgelord. They want everything to be like Attitude Era, tweeners, and things like that. And they were like, oh, finally, this is gonna be the time Cody turns heel, or this is time for Cody Lander. And so many people seem to be like completely obsessed with this idea of turning Cody heel. And from the beginning, even in the build up to this, I was like, no way Cody's gonna say yes. Like, turning Cody heel is probably the dumbest thing the WWE could do. He's like the most over white meat babyface since Hogan honestly, like, I think he's more over than Cena was. Because back in the day, you were getting the John Cena sucks chance. You had the whole, like, LOL Cena wins sort of thing. And, you know, when Roman was trying to be presented as a face, that obviously didn't work for the WWE either. People were getting booed. But Cody has never gotten booed as a face. Even, like, you know, beating AJ, beating Kevin Owens, all this, like, the crowd has never turned against him, even though we see so many people being like, the crowd's gonna turn against Cody any day now. So in my mind, he's sort of on that, he's more over as a face than Cena was. People were tired of Cena, people have not gotten tired of Cody. He's kind of on that early Hulk Hogan type of level where Hogan was so over as a face. Crowds were only showing up for Hogan, they didn't care about anything else, and I feel like Cody's sort of on that level at the moment with modern fans. So in my mind, it's never made sense to make Cody go heel, as much as some people seem to be absolutely obsessed with that idea. And I've always pushed back on the Cody-Lander stuff in comments and things. But an interesting angle that I really haven't seen anybody talk about is Cenalander, which is what we potentially have now as Cenalander, especially with some of those facial expressions and things like that that Cena was making after he attacked Cody and took the Rock's deal. You know, he was being very menacing, very arch. And I have to admit, in this retirement tour thus far, I've been a little bit critical of Cena's overacting at the Royal Rumble. He was kind of acting a little bit like a clown. He did a little bit in this match too, but when he flicked that switch and went full on heel mode, like, okay, all of a sudden, like, I'm bought in here. This is good stuff from Cena. Very good acting from him. Which maybe that explains the overacting earlier. Now this does add a little bit of a sniggle in my mind with the storytelling, because I think obviously the goal here is to have John Cena win the 17th title, beating Ric Flair, holding the record for most championships held. But I wonder if you have him do it as a heel, because supposedly Cena was going to do 30 more appearances before he retired. He's done 2 of them after this match. So that means we're gonna get John Cena 28 more times between now and his retirement. I think SummerSlam is his final match, if I'm not mistaken. Next year's SummerSlam, or is it? I guess it would be this year's SummerSlam, but we have 28 more John Cena appearances. My hot take is they're not going to retire John Cena as a heel. I don't think they would do that. I don't think John wants that. I think he wants to retire. He wants to bookend his career with the crowd completely behind him for his retirement match. Cheering fans, a big love fest, that sort of thing. But I question whether they even have Cena win the title, win the 17th, record breaking title as a heel. Because in my mind as well, that moment where Cena wins the belt, again, theoretically, the next belt he wins is the final championship he ever wins. I doubt they have him win 2 more. or win, lose, win again. I think he ends on 17. I don't think he ends on 18. However, I could also potentially see a eventuality where he ends on 16 and they don't ever win another title, but assuming he ends on 17, which I think is the most likely outcome, the two ways you can take it are having him win it as a heel, and then, but then the question is, when does he turn face, and why would he turn face if he's holding the belt as a heel? Unless he's dropping it, but in my mind, if Cena is retiring, that retirement match should be him losing the belt to probably Cody, but Punk, Drew, Orton, you name it. So if you do a thing where like Cena gets the belt and then he does like a reign of terror sort of thing, and then his retirement match is a Cody Cena, or a Cody Punk Orton, whoever, I could see that working, but like I said, I feel like Cena wants to retire a face, so he can have that whole crowd cheering him, being behind him. But I also think Cena wants to win number 17 as a face. So I wonder if this might be a short-lived heel turn. Like if he does this heel turn, he goes up against Cody at WrestleMania 41 and he loses. Now that does two things. Now Cena has the avenue to turn face. He's like, Rock, you promised me I'd win my next championship, this, that, and the other, and I didn't. Then he turns against Rock, becomes face again, and wins number 17 after that. And then also Cody beating a heel Cena basically cements Cody as like the number one guy definitively for the next like decade here. And I also don't think they would have even taken this risk of turning Cena heel if they weren't 100% confident that Cody is that guy going forward for the future until they find the next Cena, the next Hogan, the next Cody, whoever, that will carry the mantle after Cody retires in 10 years. So it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how they do it, I think. I think by WrestleMania 42, Cody has the belt again if he does lose it to a heel Cena. But I just really struggle with the idea that they're going to have Cena win his 17th as a heel, because you're going to want the crowd cheering him in that moment. And being, that's like this huge accomplishment. And I feel like that's what Cena wants as well. And you saw it tonight, the crowd did turn on Cena at the end. There was like this very ominous atmosphere in the arena after all that, so I don't think crowds are just going to be cheering him because he is John Cena. I think that, especially with the brutality, the violence that he showed in that heel turn, if he keeps doing that sort of thing, I think he will get a lot of hate. I think the crowd will boo him, and I don't think that's how he wants to go out, and I don't think that's how he wants to win, but anyway, let's move on to the rest of the card. The women's chamber match. Now, you guys know, I've talked about it many times, I'm a big Naomi fan. Immediately, Jade Cargill comes in and beats her up, and she's removed from the match. So I'm immediately in the mud. I'm not very happy with how that went down. Now, we end up having Bianca Belair as our this match, Bayley was the first eliminated, which I thought was interesting. Bayley looked a little bit weak here, if anything. Liv Morgan was the MVP of this match. Now, for me, the obvious winner kind of seemed like Alexa Bliss, because we've already had Liv versus Rhea like twice now, and I don't think anyone wants to see them run it back again, especially this soon. Like, I need Liv to move on from Rhea and do something else. So I didn't think her winning was gonna do anything for her, so I didn't want that. And then in my mind, Bianca, she has this tag team with Naomi, and they have this whole sort of feud angle and mystery angle going on with Jade, which obviously Jade seems to be sure that Naomi was the one that attacked her, but maybe it'll come out that it was actually Bianca. It's both of them together, I don't know. But in my mind, I think, okay, well, Bianca's already kind of like involved in some stuff, and she's got this whole tag team stuff going on. So it didn't really seem like Bianca would be the winner. So in my mind, I felt like Alexa Bliss was the obvious winner here, and I was actually really, really shocked when Alexa Bliss was eliminated. Like, she's super popular, an established legacy wrestler who goes back years, fan favorite, massive merchandise mover, and it seemed like everyone wanted her to win. And you could tell that after Alexa Bliss was eliminated, the crowd kind of just pulled back a little bit from that match. Like, it kind of took the air out of the room a little bit. And it took a little bit of my excitement out of that match as well, I'm not gonna lie. It just felt like, I don't know, now I'm kind of just wondering, like, what the plan even is with Alexa Bliss moving forward. She's done nothing but lose. Since she came back, she lost at the Rumble in pretty, quick, like she didn't really have any big spots at the Rumble, and then she sort of just unceremoniously lost, and now losing at the Chamber as well. Just feels a little bit weird, especially because Charlotte comes back and immediately goes to main event to WrestleMania, but Alexa Bliss isn't getting that same sort of push. I don't know. I mean, I do like Bianca. She had that hair whip spot against Liv again. Like, why Liv Morgan was the MVP of this match. She took an absolute beating. She was bleeding by the end of this. And Bianca is a great wrestler. I really like her. And her versus Rhea, I anticipate will probably be a very good match. It's just, I felt like she was already kind of like very busy and had her own thing going on and already had a pretty big spotlight. And then we had the Tiffany and Trish versus Candice and Nia Jax match, which I always kind of felt like I didn't really know why that match was happening. I kind of felt like the whole point of the match was just to build up Tiffany a little bit before the Charlotte match, to kind of give her more legitimacy or whatever else. I don't really know. For as much as I like Tiffany Stratton, though, it really does seem like they can't decide if she's a heel or a face. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but like, it feels like everything about her character, you're not meant to like her. She gives off that, like, bitchy high school mean girl sort of vibe, like that girl everybody hated back in high school. But then, like, the crowds absolutely love her, but then her promos all kind of come across a little bit heelish. I don't know, it'll be interesting. But then, obviously right now the crowds aren't really a fan of Charlotte Flair, so I don't know, this match just seemed a little bit pointless. Ultimately Tiffany and Trish get the win, but I was kind of left wanting a little bit. Kevin Owens versus Sammy, this might be one of the craziest matches I've ever seen. Just absolute brutality during this match. Those barbed wire spots were insane. One thing I did really like about this match, though, there was a point where there was about a 3 to 5 minute sequence where Sami Zayn gets a barbed wire covered chair, hits Kevin Owens in the back with it like 2 or 3 times, and then slams Kevin Owens' face into the barbed wire chair, literally his face. And then Sami sets up the 2 barbed wire chairs and like together in power bombs Kevin Owens onto 2 barbed wire chairs, which like they don't fold, they don't collapse. So just a full-on back full of barbed wire. Like that was a sequence of events that Sami did where Kevin got no offense in it all. He just got an absolute walloping of barbed wire. And then Kevin Owens finally springs into action and like he power bombed Sami onto the apron. And after like the first one, Michael Cole was on commentary being like, "That's enough, Kevin. Kevin, he's done. That's enough. Kevin, you have to stop. It's over." And I'm sitting there like, Sami just obliterated this man's body with barbed wire for 5 minutes straight. But Kevin Owens power bombs him onto the apron one time, and now the commentary is saying that Kevin has gone too far. It didn't really make that much sense to me, but I mean, it was funny. It's like it was like bad. It just wasn't those funny little things. Kevin Owens does end up winning that one, but man, what an absolute just banger of a match. And then Randy Orton comes out, and Kevin Owens' reaction, it was so good. He's like crying, he looks super emotional, and Randy gets set up to hit the punt on him, but he's not able to. So you know, when they finally do have that match, probably night 1 of WrestleMania, Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton, when Randy finally does hit that punt on Kevin Owens, it's gonna hit like crack. The men's chamber, Drew McIntyre getting eliminated first was not something I expected. I'm gonna be honest with you. I honestly thought Drew might be one of the winners. Like, he's one of the guys I thought could win this. But no, he goes out first. Logan Paul gets into the final 3 of a great, and there's a couple spots. And it's actually, to circle back to the heel scene thing, there was a moment in this match where CM Punk and Cena, they do like a handshake and do a sign of respect thing. And then there's a second time in the match where Cena extends a handshake to Punk. But the second time, Punk takes advantage of it and hits Cena with a low blow. And then after that happened, when Cody said no to The Rock, I was actually expecting Cult of Personality to start playing, and CM Punk comes out, cashes in his favor from Paul Heyman, and Punk becomes the corporate champion. Because during that match, CM Punk was acting very heelish. And then also during that match, CM Punk ate like 6 finishers and kicked out of all of them. It's like, okay, they're making Punk look really strong and like a heel. He's gonna turn corporate champ. So the Cena heel turn actually did swerve me there as well. But now it seems like Punk is gonna have to use that Paul Heyman favor to even get into WrestleMania at all. Probably on the Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins match, ain't that a 3-way? Also, I just have to say, the more that I watch, the more I'm convinced, like, Seth Rollins is one of my GOATs. I've never seen this dude put on a bad match. His in-ring work is always good. I feel like he elevates all the other guys he's in the ring with. like the more and more I watch WWE, the bigger and bigger fan of Seth Rollins I become. And he was really great this Elimination Chamber. He sets up the Cena win pretty well here. Cena choking out CM Punk to get the win there. And that's probably the last time Cena's gonna get that full crowd cheering experience until he turns face at some point down the line. So you could tell he was taking that in a little bit, but anyways guys, that is Elimination Chamber. I was very happy with this overall, which is great because I came into this with pretty low expectations, to be honest. But I left deeply satisfied and excited for WrestleMania 41. So in the comments down below, let me know what you guys thought of Elimination Chamber if you watched it. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more content just like this almost every single day. Until next time, guys. Bye bye.